feel like all the episodes in this game are significantly longer than the first game. Okay, let's continue. Wee. Cause now you got the Magatama thing, and it's a little more obtuse for reasons I'm not aware of. Nick? Yeah? Did you know that Von Karma's daughter is only 18? She's like me. Yeah. Why? I was just thinking about how strong she is. I mean, she's been in Germany all this time by herself. She's so grown up. Yeah, and I'm sure she has a lot of pressure from her father's reputation. And then you look at me and, well, I'm the daughter of the master, but I'm still just a little girl. On top of that, I'm suspected of a murder trial. I think you're really strong too, Maya, for all you've gone through. I think inside my head without opening my mouth to share this with her, and her giant ears! Oh my god, look at that! Good morning. The two of you look like you're doing well today. I'm happy for you. Hey, morning, Pearly. You'll be safe today, Mystic Maya. Huh? What do you mean? My mother's coming today to show her support. Yeah, that's right, Pearly. Hey, bros. Yes, Mr. Nick? Do you think you could do me a big favor? Could you channel Mia today, too? Huh? I was sorta hoping to sit in the audience today and watch. Please. It's very important to me. I don't feel confident enough without her help. Mr. Nick, that's enough. You can't show weakness in front of the person you love. Fairly, not this again. Please. Can you do this for us, Pearls? Alright, I'll do it. I'll do it for Mystic Maya's sake, not yours. See you later then. I'll leave you two to your alone time. Yeah, thank goodness. Nick? This way. Pearls won't be able to see today's trial. What do you mean? What's going on? It's gonna be nasty. It's gonna be nasty, Maya. Court's now in session for the trial of Maya Fey. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Let's start already. Mr. Phoenix, right? I look forward to tonight's news with great joy. The image of your defeated face will be transmitted all over the world. All over the world, huh? Sounds like you've made quite a name for yourself, Phoenix. Don't be foolish, you foolish fool wearing the foolish clothes. The famous one is me. I am the prodigy who has never lost a case since becoming a prosecutor 5 years ago. Naturally, the world's eyes are on me as I conduct my first trial in this country. That's nice, Miss Von Karma. Glad to see you're in such good spirits today, Miss Fey. Yeah, it's true what they say. Women really are scary when they fight. Ugh. Now then, a very interesting theory was presented during yesterday's session. That the defendant could have left the channeling chamber, correct? Yes. And this key is proof of that. This key, the only key to the channeling chamber, was not where it should have been. Your Honor, I would like to say one thing before we begin. Alright, let's hear it. The prosecution has determined that from the time of the murder to the time of arrest, the defendant did indeed leave the room at one point. What? I can't do accent still, by the way. I'm just... Hers is a fucking mess. I don't know how to fix it either. But Miss Von Karma... Then how do you explain this picture? Are you saying then that the person in this picture is not the defendant? I never said that wasn't the defendant. Then what is the meaning of this? All I am saying is that Maya Fey, after killing the victim, exited the room. And I believe that this is when she dropped the key. Can you substantiate your claim? That isn't what I'm here for. Isn't that what I'm here for? The prosecution would like to call the defendant's aunt, Morgan Fay, to the stand. Just as I suspected, Aunt Morgan. Poor Mia. She seems really torn by this. Why didn't we give Pearl a jacket? Witness, name and occupation. My name is Morgan Fay, and I am a spirit medium in a manner of speaking. I'm sorry, but what do you mean, in a manner of speaking? I don't think anyone really cares. Now then, after the murder took place, you kept watch over the defendant, correct? Yes, that is correct. I performed the spirit severing technique on Mystic Maya then. Spirit severing technique? A technique to remove a spirit from a body and send it back to the other world. That is... Yes, that is... You, be quiet. Now, witness, something has happened while you were performing this technique, correct? Yes, that is correct. What in the world could have... Mystic Maya, she escaped from the room. No. She didn't. What? And here we come to the heart of the matter. Maya Fay, valiantly possessed state, managed to escape from the channeling chamber. Order. X3. Miss Fay, please testify to this court what happened during that time. Your Honor, I will try my best. I think someone just upped the ante on this trial. Maya's escape. After we heard the gunshots, those two broke the door open and entered the chamber. I requested that Mr. Wright and the other lady please contact the police. A pistol was hanging from Mystic Maya's hand, and she was in a daze. Then, quite suddenly, she thrusted me away from herself and escaped from the room. With great strength, she hit the base of my neck and I fainted for a short while. I'm afraid I have no knowledge of where she went after that. Why have you hidden this until now? I did not wish to cause more trouble for Mystic Maya. However, I must correct falsities when they arise. That's alright. She is simply correcting a falsity, Mr. Phoenix, right? Why is she making it a point to take a stab at me? Never mind. Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please. My aunt is a very smart and sly person. It's going to be hard for us to find a crack at her testimony. Gonna press it all. This button. Just now you said those two. Who were the two people you were referring to? I was referring to that foreign lady and yourself, good sir. Lotta's not a foreigner, despite how she talks. Oh, is that so? I'm sorry, I simply could not understand her atrocious English, not to mention she looked awful. I can already see people in the Heartland gearing up for a riot. In any case, I have already sent the repair bill to your office, Mr. Wright. Ah, thanks. What did you do after that, Miss Fay? Calling the police. Was it really necessary to have two people do something so simple as call the police? If there was a possibility of escape, then one of us should have stayed behind. Yes, that is a very good point. At that time, I myself was a little confused. On top of which, there was another... Another what, madam? Oh, it's nothing. No need to concern yourself. I want to hear the end of that sentence. That's the question. There was another reason you wanted both of us out of that room, wasn't there? You must testify. Why'd you chase us out of the room? I simply did not wish for there to be more victims. The lives of both the good sir and that camera woman may be in danger. It's what I thought to myself.
Well, that was very noble of you, Miss Fay.
This is bad. Now people have a good impression of her, and a bad one of us. Looks like she caught us napping. That's my out for you.
Are you satisfied now, Mr. Wright? Miss Fay, please continue.
Beaston. During our investigation, you stated that you struck the defendant on the head. And this strike caused Maya to lose consciousness. Do you stand by the statement? I'm afraid I don't. The statement I gave you was a lie.
Why would you lie about something like that?
It's very painful for me to say this, however. The witness was lying to cover for the defendant.
She was covering for Maya.
So you were covering for the defendant? Well, yes. It was only later that I was informed of what had occurred. That the renegade mystic Maya had done something very unexpected.
Something unexpected? What, pray tell, did she... Arik.
This witness didn't and couldn't have seen what happened. If you want to know what this unexpected thing was, there's always later.
Yes, well...
I just suddenly feel like there's a rock in the pit of my stomach. Now, witness, continue with what happened. Then quite suddenly she thrust it away and ran away.
Was it really that easy for her to escape from you?
I'm ashamed to admit to such a thing, however, yes. But you are physically larger and stronger than the defendant. There is no way she could have escaped from you so easily. Have you forgotten already, Mr. Phoenix Wright? What about this picture? Remember that at the time the defendant was not physically Maya Fey.
Growing old, such a mysterious thing. Trust me, I know firsthand.
Basically, Mystic Maya's body was still out of the nurse she had called. But if she'd run away, why wouldn't you have given chase right away? Well, yes, I would have, however...
She judo chopped me. You fainted.
I became dizzy and then collapsed onto the floor.
How long were you unconscious?
I'm not sure. About 10 minutes, perhaps? That's a long time to be unconscious.
And the defendant almost certainly went somewhere in that time.
Happy witness, elaborate on that point for us. Is that because you were unconscious? Why, yes. Why, yes.
Great, now what?
So while you were unconscious, you have absolutely no idea where the defendant went. I would think that's obvious, good sir. If that's true, then how can you know for sure that the defendant left the channeling chamber at all?
Now that you mention it, I have to wonder myself.
It's true that this witness is not able to confirm this. But the keyword here is this witness.
What do you mean by that?
It means she has another witness up her sleeve. That's what. It looks like Miss Von Karma is ready to move on to her next witness.
That's enough. From what I can tell, there is nothing wrong with this witness's testimony. And from what she has said, we can establish that Maya Fey did leave the chamber.
I hope this isn't gonna come back and bite us in the butt. Now, let's take the next logical step and ask. Where did the defendant go after leaving the channeling chamber?
Yes, that is exactly what—
Be quiet, you. Now then, what the escapee has done was she had gone to speak with a certain person.
She went to speak with someone? Who was it?
The prosecution calls Miss Eeny Miny, who was sleeping in the side room at the time. It's turning very French again. Oh. Eeny Miny. Witness, name and occupation.
Okay, so my name's like Eeny Miny.
I'm like researching like parapsychology stuff at the university.
What is this parapsychology?
Let's see, most people call it occult stuff.
Even if that's what most people call it, I can't say I understand what that means.
Then I suggest you go home and research it yourself.
Yes, sir.
Now then, Miss Miney. After the murder took place, you spoke with the defendant Maya Fey. Is this correct? Well... like, I guess? If that is the case, then let's hear your testimony. That is alright, isn't it, Your Honor?
Yes, sir.
For the love of all things good, Your Honor, have some spine. For my sake. Like, when the channeling started, I was like sleeping in a side room. Like a little later, someone came into the room, like really suddenly. It was like, oh my god, totally my sister. I like hadn't seen her in like so long. I was so happy in like a sad way. My sister, she like told me something like totally terrible.
Now hold your horses, young lady. You're saying the person that entered was your sister? Don't you mean the defendant, Maya Fey?
Really now, Your Honor? Maya Fey was still in the middle of channeling at the time.
Are you saying that the spirit was the spirit of the witness's sister?
Yes, Mimi Miney. She was a nurse at Dr. Gray's clinic.
Oh, well, this is...
Fitness? Like, yeah? In your testimony, you mentioned a terrible thing. Why don't you tell the court what this terrible thing was? I'm sure we'd love to hear about it. Like, do I totally, like, really I can't do accents, I feel bad. Like, it's turned into a thing for her. And I can't course correct it. Of course.
Miss Minor, please.
My sister, like, this is what she said to me. That was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. I was murdered by that person. That's why I took my revenge. It's only fair, isn't it? Meanie?
She took her revenge. Are you sure that's what she said?
Yeah? There, are you satisfied, Your Honor?
I still can't believe it. I can't believe that a spirit would go so far as to use a medium to get revenge.
It is a bit hard to swallow. However, all the evidence and testimonies point to this as the truth. The end.
What do you think, Mr. Rat? It certainly seems like all the loose ends are accounted for.
This testimony just now, was it all made up? One huge lie? Of course it was, Phoenix. Don't read my mind. Mia, what do you mean? It's well constructed, but that's all it is. But even the most well-spun lies can be undone. We can do it. Let's find that one loose thread and unwind this tapestry of lies. Your Honor, there is room for doubt, so the defense will cross-examine this witness. We believe that our cross-examination will reveal the real truth behind this murder. Yet again, the foolish fool spouts more foolishly foolish traveler. I wonder if you'll make this one more entertaining than the last. Like when the channeling started, I was asleep. Was that because you're a sesame allergy, yeah? Like, right. I, like, think there were sesame seeds in, like, the lunch they served that day. I had this, like, premonition that it was gonna totally be a seedy day. Yes, indeed.
I see.
Am I the only one who missed the boat?
Anyway, so you were taking a nap. Did something happen while you were sleeping?
A little later, somebody came into the room. You know the time? Like maybe a little before 11? Something like that?
11 a.m.?
Yeah, like my stomach's really ready for like food. I think you misunderstood me. I'm not asking what time is it now. I meant what time was it when the someone came into your room. Oh, so like that's what you meant. Like, you should have been more like clear about it. My bad. No, it's okay. Like, it's really... Huh? That's it? Why'd you stop mid-sentence? Did I? So, like... What was I talking about again? Never mind. Witness about this person who entered the side room. It's like, oh my god. Are you absolutely sure it was your sister? I guess?
Guess.
Was it or was it not your sister who entered? Like, I don't know. I mean, like, I totally don't know your sister at all, Mr. Smith.
First off, my name is not Mr. Smith. Second, I'm an only child.
But more than that, she's managed to mess up the question with her answer.
Well, Mr. Rat.
The defense rests. Well, that was a colossal waste of our time. Now then, witness, how did you feel when you saw Miss Beanie Miney? You were happy in a sad way? Yeah, like, I mean, it was my sister. But wouldn't most people react here with surprise at seeing a dead loved one alive again? But like, maybe if I was like someone who didn't know about like, the occult? But like, I know all about the Korean channeling technique. The point here is the witness immediately recognized that it was her sister. Yeah, like what she said. Should I drop this line of question and question further? So you really didn't think of it as particularly strange? No. Like, there wasn't any reason for me to like, think anything was strange. But, guy! Don't keep battering her. You know the phrase objection? Could you try using that once in a while?
Now, Mr. Rat. It's this question of what the witness felt when she saw her sister. Is it really that important?
Yeah, sure, why not? Is it really that important? Let me ask you, is it really that important for you to ask?
Of course, it's very important.
Well, I don't think it's that important at all. Ow. Stop spewing such nonsensical things then. Pay no attention to this twit and continue, witness. Like, okay. Something terrible. What was this thing she told you? Huh? Like, didn't I just tell you? Did you, like, forget already? Foolish fool with a foolish sleeve for a brain that only speaks foolishly with foolish fads. Excuse me, princess. Anyway, should I ask to hear it again? Yeah, do it again. Sorry, could I hear the story one more time? Sure, no problem. I'll even, like, tell it all spooky-like for you. That was no accident. I was drugged with sleeping pills. Like, I was murdered by that, like, person. That's, like, why I, like, took my, like, revenge. It's only fair, isn't it? Eenie? How was that?
It was a little scary.
Like, I'm sorry, maybe I, like, put too much spookiness into it. There has to be something here I can use, but where? She really put a lot of thought into this lie, didn't she? Kinda, yeah. I can't rush this. Let's take it slowly, one step at a time. She's bound to slip up somewhere. Don't give up, but don't get careless, okay? Remember, calm and collected. Can I try this again? Know about the Korean channeling technique. And then she hits me with the whip. It is very important, now that I'm thinking about it. Because what she would have seen was this. With all the blood. And that is a problem. Did I reflexively pick the wrong thing last time? I feel like I did. It is very important, although I haven't quite figured out what it is yet. Because time and time again, the press further has always been the top one, and I kind of did it without looking. But I've got a bluff for now to make it seem like I know what I'm talking about. Alright, Mr. Right, Miss Minor, please amend your testimony. Like, okay, I'm like totally cool with that. I wasn't scared at all, and like your costume looked totally like normal. But there was nothing odd at all about your sister's appearance. Like, yeah, nothing was like weird. That's impossible. Is everything okay? Now we present photo number 2. I think. I fucking hope. That was a very well-spun lie, Miss Eni. What are you babbling about this time, Mr. Phoenix, right? It is well constructed, but that's all it is. Stealing my lines now, are we, Phoenix? Miss Miney, may I remind you of what you said? You said that there was nothing strange about your sister's appearance. Like, yeah, and? But I don't think that's what you were thinking at all. Take a look at this picture. This is a picture of the sister you met. I would think that even you would be surprised if someone appeared before you like this. It's a blood spray. Miss Miney, why did you not include the blood you saw in your testimony? If you were really testifying and not lying, you would have noted it right off the bat. Order, Miss Miney, what is the meaning of this? Miss Miney. I'm thinking, don't interrupt me. And what are you stammering about, Your Honor? Well, that witness, her personality did a complete 180 there. Lots of people do that when they get on the stand, though. First of all, calm yourself, witness. Like, I'm sorry. I, didn't mean to snap. Now, hurry up with the testimony. If you please. The judge still looks a little shaken up. A lot of help he's gonna be. You're just gonna let Francisca fucking whip you so many times? Like, that's a lot of eating. After the part 2. Like, the side room was like kinda dark, you know? So like, the costume is like purple, right? The blood totally blended right in. And I like, persuaded my sister it wasn't like right to do something like that. And then like, I took my sister to the channeling chamber.
Yes, now I see. And you have given us a clear reason for why you didn't notice the blood.
You think? Like, thanks, Gramps.
Are you satisfied, Mr. Rat? Alright, I guess not. Very well, you may question the witness.
Side room dark. Really? Because I thought it was pretty bright inside that room. Don't push your subjective opinions onto this cult. Like, that's right. Excuse me, but how is my statement any more subjective than Miss Miney's? You are such a hopeless cause, witness. Witness, you may feel safe to ignore this trite little man. Like, okay.
Ugh, can't breathe, let me out of here.
Costume's purple.
You didn't see the blood.
Like, yeah.
But she must have had the gun with her at that time as well.
That's, Are you going to tell me next that you didn't notice the gun either? I, like, totally didn't. All I was looking at was, like, her face. Continue. And what was your sister, Mrs. Mimi Miney, like at the time? Well, she was, like, totally flipped out because she just shot Dr. Gray. But I think, like, she knew, she, like, said she did something real bad. And, like, she said she wanted to go with me to, like, apologize to Miss Morgan. Did Mimi's spirit really say all that to you? Like, yeah. Took her to the channeling chamber. Was your sister calm by that time? Like, I guess? I guess maybe, like, taking her revenge on Dr. Gray, like, made her feel a lot better. I'd like to feel a lot better too, Mr. Phoenix, right? The sooner the better.
She says with her whip at the ready.
And, like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? May I ask you one more thing, Miss Miney? Like, sure. Was there anything you found strange, unusual, or just out of place? Something out of place? Like, what do you mean?
When you
were in the bedroom? I wasn't paying any attention. Shit, I was on autopilot. Was there anything weird or out of place? Yeah, actually. Pearl should have been cleaning up the vase, right? So that's on the way in between. Talking about when you were going to the channeling chamber, of course. Like, no, nothing strange. She answered rather quickly. Now what? Press harder. Think harder. I know you can remember something. I, like, totally can. It's not good enough. You have to explain yourself clearly to this court.
Do you think, Mr. Rat, that whether or not there was something odd on the way to the channeling chamber is all that important?
Read this time. It's very important, Judgy Edgy. I ask because it is very important. Not that I know where I'm going.
Very well. Miss Miney, if you will, please include a statement about this in your testimony.
Like, I don't get why, but like, okay. I didn't see anyone on the way to, like, the channeling chamber. Oh. Try to remember that time. Oh, like, I remember. Like, I totally didn't see anyone on the way. I guess this really is a dead end. Something you finally pull out of Witness is never a dead end, Phoenix. It's no good, I can't find anything wrong. Stop reading my mind! Phoenix, the judge believes this testimony. If you don't find some sort of hitch in her statement, he'll end the trial. We have to give it another shot. Doesn't matter how many times we listen, we can't give up. So, like, you should have seen someone on the way to the channeling chamber. Like, their name is Pearl. They're really small, but like, very well spoken and obviously able to run really good. Cause like, they ran all the way from the village to the courtroom in a big city, like, before the court was in session. So like, they ran really far, and then they proceeded to like, stand there, like, the rest of the day, and talk and stuff. You say you didn't see anyone on the way to the channeling chamber. However, that's impossible. Like, what do you mean? I would like to introduce someone to you. This is Miss Morgan Fay's daughter, Pearl Fay. Interesting. You have a semi-intelligent look on your face. So, what about this child? It just so happens that at the time of the murder, Pearl was playing in the center garden. The garden? Yep. Which means anyone walking through the area would have had to have seen her. So, Miss Miney, what do you have to say to that? Where? As the court can see, she's a bit of an airhead. Also, she was leading her sister at that time. Do you honestly think she would have noticed a simple child playing? Preposterous. It's not preposterous, and I can prove it. That sort of foolish. There is no way someone walking along the winding way couldn't have noticed Pearl. Is this when we talk about the vase or the ball? Because we have both the vase and the ball. I'm going to go with the vase. Because she had to glue it back together. I don't know what I'm doing. This urn is my proof. An old cracked clay pot? That is it going to prove. Do you know why it's cracked? It's because Pearl broke it, that's why. You broke the urn? Yeah. Why do I feel like you're about to ruin my beautiful day? This urn was broken around the time the channeling started. Ah. And Pearl was the one who put it back together, while sitting right in the middle of the winding way. What? Miss Miney. Pearl was there in the winding way at the time. She was hard at work, putting the pieces of the urn back together, you see. If you couldn't see that while you were walking, I'd have to declare you legally blind. I think I have sufficiently proven one thing, Miss Miney. You are a masterful liar. Mr. Rat, you need to watch what you say. The one who needs to watch what she's saying is the witness. So, Miss Miney, tell us the truth. About what? About what? About where you really were at the time of the murder, of course. The witness just testified about that. That's right. I was, like, sleeping in the side room. Can I really believe her? Was she really sleeping in the side room? No way, man. Your lies end here. What do you... The witness says that during the actual murder, she was asleep in the side room. And I say that's not possible. Because there is clearly a contradiction here. A contradiction? Where is this contradiction? In her testimony, man. Duh. Earlier in your testimony, Miss Miney, you made the following statement. And, like, Miss Morgan was the only one in the channeling chamber, you know? No. It's true that at that time, both myself and Miss Hart were not there. We had gone to call the police. So, like, what does that, like, have to do with anything? It's very simple. Miss Miney, how did you know that fact? How? I can see that Miss Fey was the only person in the channeling chamber. However, someone who was asleep in the side room couldn't have known that. Which means, Miss Miney, you did in fact go to the channeling chamber. But you didn't go there by way of the Winding Way. Well. But look at the Manor Guide map. If one were to go between the side room and the channeling chamber, one would have to use the Winding Way. Yes, that's right, Your Honor. Which is why I ask this very important question. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Miss Miney, answer the question. Don't ask a question off of a baseless assumption, if you please. Well, I suppose since you've put it out on the table, Mr. Phoenix, right? You might as well answer the question for us. Where was the witness at the time of the murder? Now's your chance, Phoenix. Sneezing. The only person who could have killed Dr. Gray was Eenie Miney. So now it's the time to prove it. Now then, Mr. Rat, let's hear your answer. Where was the witness when the murder took place? Well, I mean, if we're gonna say it's her, then they had to have been in the chamber. Miss Miney was here, of course. But that's the channeling chamber. Isn't that the crime scene? That's right. Miss Miney was at the scene of the crime. Order. That's what. Fuck. Mr. Phoenix, right? Have you lost your mind? Yesterday's testimony established that only the victim and the defendant were in the chamber when the channeling started. That is correct. Please explain yourself, Mr. Rat. Simple. Miss Eenie Miney was hiding at the scene of the crime. I was hiding? Where? Like, where was I hiding? Behind the screen. Here. Behind the folding screen. Stop hitting people with your goddamn whip. Don't make me say this again. Recall yesterday's testimony. There ain't no way anyone was hanging out behind that folding screen. See, stupid jerk. Quit being so quick to pin it on me, slime ball. Now, Miss Minor, one so young as you shouldn't be saying. Shut it, Gramps, as if you know exactly how old I am. I'm sorry. Looks like the pipe's about to burst. Guess I should help it along. The witness was hiding behind the folding screen with the help of this big old box. Miss Miney, how you were able to hide yourself at the scene of the crime is quite simple. You were hiding inside this box. That tiny little box? No person could fit in that. Sorry, but your theory has already been disproved. Lana disproved you when she was hiding from me in it. But that clothing box is in the side room, right? Which means it has nothing to do with the murder at all. That's right, I was sleeping there, so I should know. That clothing box was there in the side room the whole time.
Mr. Rat, do you think you can prove where the clothing box was at the time of the crime?
Yes. Because it got shot. And now I present a piece of evidence that will prove this clothing box is at the scene of the crime when the murder took place. Can I just select the box again? Am I gonna be allowed to get away with that? Take a look at the box. You're so stupid. As if there's any sort of evidence in that old thing.
What on earth?
I don't have time for you to sit there surprised. Hurry up and say it already.
There's a hole about 8 inches off the ground.
A hole about 8 inches off the ground. Where have we heard that before? That folding screen, it had a hole at the same height. That's right. I hope this has opened your eyes to what happened. At the time of the shooting, the clothing box was sitting behind the folding screen. Which is why the bullet from the pistol hit both the box and the folding screen. It went through the screen and into the box. Miss Miney, you were hiding behind the folding screen, waiting for your chance. For your chance to kill Dr. Gray.
Order. So what you're saying?
Then, Mr. Phoenix Wright, what about this picture? Are you saying that the person in this photo is Miss Eenie Miney?
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Miss Eenie Miney, you were hiding inside this clothing box all along. And you wore a medium's costume to masquerade as Maya Fey.
Masquerade as Maya Fey.
She had a plan from the very beginning. She would kill Dr. Gray and put the pin to blame on my client.
No. Stop.
I can't stand to listen to any more of this foolishness. If that's the case, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then I have a proposition. This whole idea that the witness moved to the clothing box to the crime scene, pretended to be the defendant, killed the victim, and then fled the scene of the crime. It is not possible for one person to do that all by herself, correct? It really is. For one person to do all the preparations, that is. Ow. Need I remind you, the foolish receive no mercy. Wait. Miss Von Karma, you said it wasn't possible for one person, correct? You can't be serious. Miss Miney, you had an accomplice. This person. If it wasn't someone from Karain Village, you couldn't have gotten the costume. And if it wasn't someone from the Fave household, you wouldn't have that box to use. Morgan Fay.
Isn't that the wonderful lady witness we had earlier?
What do you have to say to this, Miss Miney? You shot Dr. Gray with your own two hands. Do you deny it? I think this is what really happened. The murderer had planted herself at the scene of the crime long beforehand. Dressed in a medium's costume and wearing a wig, she pretended to be the defendant. And then, the channeling started. The murderer crept silently toward the other two, both of whom had their eyes closed. First, she drugged Maya Fey with a strong sleeping agent. Then, she stabbed Dr. Gray with a knife. Next, she hid my client inside the clothing box. She did that so she could take Maya's place and frame her for the crime. But that's when something unexpected happened.
Unexpected.
Yes. Dr. Gray was actually not yet dead. With the last of his strength, he fired a shot at his attacker. And that's why the hole in the folding screen was so low to the ground. The murderer then took the gun from Dr. Gray and...
After that, you and the other lady thought to break into the room.
Yes, a gunshot's certainly something you wouldn't expect to hear. Which is why, upon hearing the shots, we forced our way into the channeling chamber. Miss Miney, she immediately covered her own costume with blood. And pretended to be Maya Fey. But that sort of deception would have been easy to see through. Which is precisely why Miss Morgan Fey chased us out. Please leave this area to me. Go quickly and inform the police. Hurry before there are more victims.
What is one supposed to say?
This is the real truth behind this murder.
It was that, laughing at a time like this.
Ah, you simple-minded fools. I'm sorry, are you still by chance evolving?
What is it this time? Miss Von Karma? Surely.
Of course it was me. You really think someone of Von Karma blood would lose due to something this petty?
What in the world?
Mr. Phoenix, right? Your argument is flawed in one very crucial area.
And that is?
If this witness is the real murderer, why would she go through all this trouble?
Huh?
Working together with a medium, pretending to be one, putting on this whole act? What reason would she have to do such foolish things?
Well that's,
Yeah, that's right. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Oh, and one other thing. Why would Miss Eenie Miney want to kill Dr. Gray? There's a motive. Yeah, that's what I wanted to say too. Yeah, motive. I don't have a motive. Motive? That's... I can't say she has no motive here. I have to think of a motive now. What's her reason for wanting Mr. Gray dead? Man, pick one of the fucking articles. Sorry?
The reason you wanted Dr. Gray dead was this. This one has your name in it, right? Sure, why not?
Heh. Just as I thought, you born with your silly answers, Phoenix, right?
Great, now even she's calling me by my full name.
You think I did this to get revenge for my sister's death?
Yeah? Because through that accident, you suffered a lot of hurt and pain yourself.
Don't be stupid. No one has proof that Dr. Gray drugged my sister, right? And you want to say I wanted to take revenge based on nothing?
What do you mean by that?
Senile, stupid Gramps. I'm gonna explain. So please listen, okay? It's been over half a year since I was discharged from the hospital. If I wanted revenge, then wouldn't I have waited? I wouldn't have waited this long. And besides, the guy that thought of the spirit thing was, Dr. Gray. It was, a total coincidence he asked me about it, you know? He's back to her airhead persona. However, you see— Ow! Pathetic, Mr. Phoenix, right? You failed to support your own theory. Z, and...
I think we have our answer, Mr. Phoenix Rat. What Miss Miney has stated is very true. The revenge plan is overly complicated and she has no motive in the first place. Furthermore, there is no reason for Miss Morgan Fay to cooperate with this plan.
There's a lot we still need to get through.
You don't even have any truly decisive pieces of evidence to demonstrate your point.
Tisk tisk. Summon your faults, Mr. Phoenix, right? Should really learn your place. What happened? I thought I had it for sure. See? It's just as I told you.
I hope you liked your slice of humble pie. Very well, I will now conclude the cross-examination of Miss Eenie Miney.
Holding. Your Honor, please allow the defense one more minute.
Alright.
can't lose here. Have faith in yourself, Phoenix. Mia. Yes, it does sound like a ridiculously messed up plan for a murder. But, you know, regardless, that girl trained for this crime. Really? Listen, Phoenix. Everything happens for a reason. There's a reason for why she had to kill Dr. Gray. And it's also the reason she had no choice but to kill him in this fashion.
Time's up, Mr. Rat. Your final answer, please. If you want to say that you can prove Miss Miney had a motive, then why did she kill the victim in this way? Can you provide the reason?
Can I? Yeah, fuck it. I'm not totally confident, but I know that I have to try. That's right, Phoenix. Only you can do this now. I will show and substantiate the fact that Miss Miney had a motive. You know, for a game where we're supposed to be a defense attorney, we end up prosecuting an awful lot. Like, every single case has ended in the way of getting the actual perp, right? I don't think that there's been an exception to that. So, like, we've really been playing prosecutor the entire time. It's just... we also have to play defense, because... life is hard. Too bad. You're too late. My cross-examination is already ended after all. Heck. Interesting. I'll let you have your chance, Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? You're supposed to be on my side! Van Karma only cares about the perfect fin. As long as you have the will to fight, I will knock you down, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And I don't care if you're my witness, so help me, I will throw you out of my way.
No way. Very well. The court will take a 5-minute recess. We will continue the cross-examination after we reconvene.
Hey, wait a sec! How much can possibly be left? Do I go for a long episode? Or do I cut it, keep it around an hour, and then just have another one be whatever length it is that it ends up being? And if I do that, then I guess I can just release it on the same day as like a little, hopefully, half-hour-ish episode. Yeah, why not? Why the hell not? I mean, really. I honestly expect most of this stuff is viewed via playlist anyway. I guess I don't really title things, so that does make it a little difficult, but like... YouTube watch history is a thing now? And it's more useful than I give it credit for? And I've had to speak as eeny miny for too long and it's corrupted my brain. Ugh. Anyway.